Hey Comic Kids, Cash Cow back with another video. Hey, how you doing, y'all? Today, or tonight rather, we're gonna talk about one of our favorite, well at least one of my favorite, time traveling mutants. It's Cable. Now I got 7 comics I'm gonna showcase to you guys that I feel like are good comics to pick up, whether you're specking on Cable or not, or the fact that you just like Cable. Just ride with me, watch the video, tell me what you think. Now, before we even really get into the comics, a backstory on Cable: he's actually the son of Cyclops and Madeline Pryor. They had a baby together, which was named Nathan Summers. Ironically, Scott Summers, Nathan Summers, the Cyclops son, and he becomes Cable. Cable was actually, to me, his story was one of the most intriguing stories in the X-Men animated series in the 90s. Kid you not. To me, it was one of the most important stories. I gravitated more towards Cable and Bishop when they finally were introduced. I was like, oh man, if they were to put this in a movie or continue this, I would be, because you want to find out more about their timelines and what they went through, and being part of the Mutant Liberation Front, or Mutant Liberation. You was like, man, like it got deep as it went on into the future, right? Now, with that being said, guys, he has telekinesis as a power. He has telepathic abilities. Sorry. What else? Teleportation. He's able to teleport. He's expert marksman. He's pretty good with that plasma rifle that he has. He's pretty good with that. And he has like a cybernetic ability that grants him strength, durability, stuff like that. Cable is the real deal. Like, he's a telepathic superhero mutant. Well, we love him because he has a take no prisoners attitude, because he's been conditioned with that. Like, he's seen a lot of his family or friends or other mutants that didn't deserve to get killed or enslaved. He saw all of that. With that being said, guys, let's dive into it, alright? First one, we got X-Force number 14. It's a classic battle of Deadpool and Cable. Alright? Now, so far they have made Cable and Deadpool allies, which is actually, they are allies. But they did have a different opinions of view, or got on each other's nerves at one point. Do I believe that they'll show that on screen? Yeah, it's a long shot. I feel like if they were to do that, then it would be like they had a brief spat and then they got over it and went on about their day. But I feel like this is a cheap spec, but it's also one that, for the majority of part, people see, and they know that that's when Cable and Deadpool have a classic battle with each other. Just saying, look out for that, guys. That's cheap. So get in on that. Ground floor. We got next X Force number 1. Now, with this is tricky because one version of X Force number one is more valuable than the other. One X Force number one comes with a Deadpool trading card in it, which technically is Deadpool's second appearance. All right, so I mean, you get like they have ones with X Force cards, they have one with a Cable card, and they have one with a Deadpool card. They may have another one, but I can't think of it right now. But if you're to get any of them now, if there's this is still polybagged, so this has not been taken out the polybag, hasn't been damaged. Don't plan on grading it. I don't think this one doesn't have the Deadpool card. I think this one has, yeah, this one has the Cable card. It has the Cable card. If you guys can see that. So I do have one that does have the Deadpool card, and if you have the one with the Deadpool card, that's the one that collectors tend to pay a little bit extra for because that's the unofficial second appearance of Deadpool. All right, so if you see one that's going for a little higher than the average price, it's probably because it has a Deadpool trading card in it. So that's what makes it valuable. All right. That's not expensive at all either. Unless you got the Deadpool card, then you may spend a little bit more extra money. Next, we got Cable number one. Now this is not his first ongoing series. His first ongoing series is Cable number one, Blood and Metal. That's his first ongoing series. This is another one that's important because it's actually an origin of Cable. All right. It's also the first appearance of Sincere, I want to say, and Clan Chosen. So I feel like both the number ones, if Cable is actually pushed out further into the audience in the MCU, he can get a bump. That Blood and Metal number one, maybe. Well, I can see that one jumping because that's his first ongoing series. That's his first series. This came after, but this is the origin of Cable, so it's also important because it's the origin story of Cable. Be on the lookout for that, guys. I actually like that cover too. They got the foil, the '90s foil cover type start certain things on, like his name's in foil, so I like that. Next, we got the New Mutants 100. This is the first appearance of X Force. The reason why X Force is important is because it's actually Cable's group. Cable names them the X Force. You have Shadowstar, you have Cannonball. I can't think of the other members, but he names this group. It's pretty much he's the leader of this group. In the movie Deadpool 2, they make it seem like Deadpool is the leader of this group and he names them and all that, but technically in the comics, Cable actually names them X Force. He renames them that. He gives them that name and that leadership and that identity that they need. This comic saw a little quick bump, around the Deadpool 2 movie, because we knew we were getting the X Force, but after that, it's cool. It's a cool cold key, but it's cheap. It's not expensive, and the fact that they made a mockery out of the X Force in the Deadpool movie, like they were a joke. Half of them got killed just trying to base jump out the helicopter and land. So if they do it to a point where they're taking it serious and they're really trying to show you what the X Force is about, this comic will see a bump real quick. And it'll probably, I think it'll withstand the test of time. People can see it and they already know what it is. And it's the final issue of the New Mutants. So They introduced you to the X Force, and then they went on to X Force 1, and they kept going. Remember that. Next, number 5, we got the New Mutants number 86. Alright, this is the first cameo of Cable, the first cameo of Strife, and the first cameo of the Mutant Liberation Front. Strife, now I've read articles before that Strife could be introduced as a villain in the Deadpool movie, or one minute it was they can go towards Taskmaster being the villain, and then next thing you know, Strife could be we don't know. But if Strife does appear, this is a cheap spec. Not a lot of people are really worried about Cable because Cable has been a sidekick at this point. He hasn't actually led his own thing yet. And reality, Cable's not a sidekick. Cable does his own thing. He may join forces here and there, do something with you, but he does his own thing. Alright? Just something you guys probably, this is his first cameo. Snatch that up. Next, number 6. We got the Uncanny X-Men number 201. This is the first appearance of Nathan Summers, baby Nathan Summers, which happens to be baby Cable. This issue actually is starting to finally get its just dues and climb up the market. Do I see it being as expensive as New Mutants number 87? No. Fortunately, Cable's not on the cover. And New Mutants 87 is a better cover. And that's the first full appearance. And Cable's on the cover. Kind of sticks out more. The market has already determined that if you are specking on Cable, New Mutants number 87 is what you want to go after. Alright? This issue, I feel like, is going to be the plan B of it. This will be important. I feel like if Cable gets that push and he becomes more popular, and this issue will actually see some gains. I feel like it will. This issue sat dormant a long time. So the fact that it's getting this push now, man, please. You go through all the New Mutants. You got New Mutants number 1, and that's the first appearance of the regular, the New Mutants. Then you got New Mutants number 87, Cable, full appearance. You got New Mutants number 98, first appearance of Deadpool, like New Mutants number 100, first appearance of X-Force. You've got New Mutants, I want to say 26, 16, something like that. First appearance of Legion. Man, they got a few bangers in that New Mutants Club. So, hey, if you can get the complete series, why the hell not? Get it. They got some Cable and Deadpool alone is worth it. It's alright. Now next, number 7, and last but not least, and I picked this up during my Comic-Con visit. New Mutants number 87. The first full appearance of Cable. The first full appearance of the Mutant Liberation Front. This is your belle of the ball. This is your bell cow. This is your franchise player when you're talking about Cable. If you're going to invest in one comic and Nathan Summers, aka Cable, this is the comic to do. It's in a very fine condition. It says 125 on the sticker. I paid less than that because I took cash, baby. And I tell you guys, if you go to Comic Cons, take cash, baby. Always take cash. They're willing to do deals with you guys because you have cash. Take cash if you can. You ain't gotta take all the amount of cash, but take some cash. They respect that. They don't have to worry about taxes and I had to swipe this and the app I use take they cut. PayPal takes they cut. All of that is eliminated when you take cash. Remember that. I dropped that gem last year in how to survive. How did I survive Wizard World? That was the first Comic Con where I took strictly cash. I didn't use no card. I took cash. But with that being said, guys, like I said in the last video, this will be graded. So I'm going to take this and put this up somewhere in a safe, away from the elements, in very fine condition. I probably might get it pressed anyway, see if it bumps up the grade, and probably next year you'll see a PGX unboxing with this in it. That being said, it's Cash Cow out. You guys be safe. Have fun. Understand now that as we are in FOMO, and in times we're not at FOMO, comics aren't selling for the record highs that they were selling for a few years ago. The economy has changed. People's situations have changed. A lot of things can be contributed to that. It is what it is. So just understand, if you invest in this hobby, embrace it for what it truly is. Have fun with it. Understand at times you're going to have success stories. At times you're going to have failure stories. It's part of life. And that's how the way life goes. Alright? That being said, Cash Cow out.